So we're dealing with proportions here, and we have the summary data of our two samples. So if you jump into StatCrunch, which I have open somewhere, alright, what you want to do is, oh, I need to sign in. Let me pause the video here. There, this is what your StatCrunch should look like. When I click on the Ask My Instructor question links, it doesn't think I'm signed into StatCrunch. So what you do is go to Stat, and what we're dealing here with is with proportions, and there's two samples. So go to two samples. Let me slide over. What we have is the summary stats. If we just had table rows of data, we would go with data, but we have the summary stats. And so our summary is our number of successes in the first sample, our number of observations, and then our second proportion was 139 out of 313. And what is it asking us to do here is the hypothesis test that P1 is greater than P2. So as you come down, a hypothesis test, our null is that they're equal, which means if you subtract them you get 0. Our hypothesis is that P1 is greater than P2, or in other words, if you subtract them you're greater than 0 because P1 is the bigger number. So click that, then click Compute, and it gives you all the summary stats for the difference of the proportion here. It gives you your Z value and your P value. So that is what you would enter into part B and part C. What it doesn't give you is, which I would like to see and helps you understand the problem a little better, is the actual proportions from each sample, which is good to help you understand what's going on. So the first sample is 128 out of 248, so 51%. And our second sample was 139 out of 313, sample 2. So it's just nice to see that, because then you can see that sample 1 did have a larger proportion. It looks like the sample 1 population has a larger proportion than the sample 2 population. So that's what we're testing for, and we're going to see if that difference is actually enough for us to reject the null hypothesis that the population proportions are equal. So that's some good information just to calculate on your own. I don't think you enter it anywhere in this problem. No. But you can see this problem we're not rejecting. You got that part right, because our significance level is so low. Even though the population, our samples were about 7% apart, we're still not saying that's big enough to completely reject that the two population proportions are really equal. So I hope that helps with this problem. Send me any other questions you have.